Thanks for checking in on the State of Basketball podcast, episode 112. I'm Adam Miller, and I'm here with Jaren Will each and every week, and we are going to be bringing you the news and notes on all 11 Division I schools in the state of Indiana, because in 49 states...
it's just basketball.
You're not going to say it?
Say what?
Happy half birthday? Come on, dude. I thought we were friends. And at the very least, I thought we were co-hosts. You know, you're like a happy half birthdays in chat. You know, a guy would appreciate it.
You are out of your mind if I look at the date. One, if you think I realized the date, and two, if you think I realized that August is 6 months from now.
Hey man, I did, because I'm thinking about summer, you know.
What kind of friend are you? You try to put this on me, saying what kind of co-host am I?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of friend are you to think that I think that?
A good one. I would have wished you a happy half birthday if your half birthday was on a day that we recorded. So
was it not? Let's see.
I hope not. That was just a shot in the dark gamble.
Ooh. We did not record on my half birthday.
Nice.
See, my half birthday's easy to remember.
Because you're June and then December?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's 6 and 12. It's divisible by like in half.
Okay. You know, so Ben and Aaron T their half birthdays are each other's birthdays, which is fun. I always remember that.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway.
So Ben's birthday is December 9th?
No, 16.
16.
Since you won't say it, happy half birthday to me.
Sam Woodfield's is June 9th.
We're here to talk about the Beacons are lit, man. I mean, this is a great week to be a Valpo basketball fan. It's been a great year to be a Valpo basketball fan, if we're being honest. We're going to talk about that amongst other things. Pretty good weeks for some of our teams, pretty atrocious weeks for others. We'll break down who had a good week and who had a bad week. But what are we getting into first, Jaren?
Our power rankings. Always start off with that. Keeping our audience up to date on where we are ranking these teams this week. And before we can do that, we have to thank our proud friends at Crow's Nest Coffee Roasters. Remember, 15% off every order. Promo code TSOB. It is second winter, some would call it, in the state of Indiana. You know, we had false spring.
Yeah.
That hope of spring over the last week and a half.
Punxsutawney Phil, not a fraud. Not
off
fraud watch this year.
He does no ball.
Although he's got like a 30%
success rate
accuracy.
That's
okay.
Okay,
man. You telling me you're like a 34% 3-point shooter? That's respectable.
That's respectable. Yeah. So it's cold again, and you can warm yourself up every morning with a cup of Crow's Nest coffee using promo code TSOB, 15% off. Power rankings, however, if you listened or watched last week, they're gonna sound familiar because they did not change. But for those of you who missed last week's rankings, I will recap those for you. So in 11th, we've got Southern Indiana. In 10th, we've got Ball State. 9th, we've got Evansville. 8th is IU-Indy. 7th is Indiana State. 6th is Purdue Fort Wayne. 5 is Valpo. 4 is Notre Dame. 3 is Butler. 2 is Indiana. And 1 are the Purdue Boilermakers. So those are our Week 16 power rankings presented by Crow's Nest Coffee.
It feels like it's settled, you know?
Yeah. I've been thinking about that over the last couple of weeks of like, okay. And I think I mentioned it too. Is like we'll see the stabilization. Mm-hmm. We'll see things start to kind of level out.
Right. Like this is where things are just kind of going to stay.
Yeah. And I'm thinking that's this. I think that's where we're at. I mean,
I think so. I mean,
there are going to be the anomaly situations where like I don't know.
I mean, just like looking at our power rankings, like who could swap, is like,
yeah.
I mean,
And,
like Ball State wins out or something because they'll play longer than like Evansville will.
Yeah,
Like,
that
potentially,
or
or
like if IUND wins the Horizon League,
Yeah.
maybe they jump up, or Valpo
Right.
wins.
If Valpo wins Arch Madness, they're absolutely going to third.
Yeah. But like, or like if Valpo wins their first 2 games of Arch Madness, wherever that, those first 2 games fall, and then maybe Notre Dame loses to like, I don't know, a bottom of the barrel ACC team.
Yeah.
Then maybe, but I think in general, right, these are pretty much going to be our final rankings.
Yeah, not as exciting.
But
I had to scrape my car and my window wouldn't roll down. So cold it is. My window wouldn't roll down. It's not that cold. It's like, I don't know, man.
I don't think I've ever experienced that.
You've never had your window not roll down?
Not in a long time.
Wild.
But I also, when it's cold, I don't roll my window down. You know what I mean? Like,
I like to test it. I don't know.
Oh.
I test it every time. To be fair, I was trying to not scrape. So I was going to do the roll the window down, roll it back up, roll it down halfway, roll it back up trick.
You get that bottom.
So you can see, and then it'll slide down as the car heats up. It didn't work. So then I was like,
okay,
got to get out and scrape.
I guess I have done that, but I've done it in scenarios where like it's not really freezing, like icy. It's more of just there's a bunch of snow and I forget to wipe off my passenger side mirror or window.
I don't know why. I probably got like, I don't know, water in there or something. I don't know. I don't know how.
I will say I had to park on the street yesterday because when I got home from something, there was someone in the driveway, so I just parked in the street, and I didn't move my car back into the driveway yesterday. My sister let me. She was like, "Hey, there's a car across the street, parked in the street that is, like, kid you not, like 2 feet off the curb, so they're dang near in the middle of the street." She was like, "It's kind of tight. Maybe move your car back into the driveway so you don't get hit inadvertently." So I went out earlier to do it, and there was still ice and snow on my windshield. I could see just a little out of the top to like, okay, I can see forward. I could see forward. There's no cars, and I was like, I can see backwards. There's no cars. Put it in reverse, just backed in.
Yeah,
and I just used my camera the whole way because that was clear.
Just because it snowed all today too.
Because I was like, I didn't want to scrape off because I knew I would have had to actually scrape. The windshield.
Did I ever tell you about the time? We're going the million tangents, but
it's okay.
Did I ever tell you about the time in college when I had my Buick and I could have like taken it home or whatever and had like I'm sure my dad and mom would have paid to like get whatever fixes on it, but it ended up not being fixed. Whatever was wrong with it didn't even get fixed. They gave it to my other brother and it just wasn't fixed, so you couldn't really drive in winter. The defrost didn't work. The defrost just didn't work. Like I don't remember that. I don't know if the heat worked at all. The defrost did not. And so I had like one day I woke up and we had to meet at the library in Angola, and which is like a 3-minute drive, but down the one main road in Angola is what I had to drive down. And I woke up late and I was sitting there waiting for my car to heat up. And so I just scraped, could barely see out the bottom, and just drove there with my head fully out the window.
Okay. I think I do remember that.
I took back roads and I just went fully out the window because it wasn't snowy. It was just cold. I was just fully out the window, just driving, and everyone was already there. And I was like, I'm so glad that everyone's already here. And then I waited until everyone left to drive out of there back to campus.
There was one time in college I had my Civic. My green one. I say Civic.
Legend.
I've had a bunch of Civics in my life.
I knew which one you meant.
But the green one, I had my green Civic, and it was a '99, and I didn't have my ice scraper for some reason. It like got. I think I let a buddy borrow it or something, and on campus there was no like students living on campus parking on campus. You had to park at the football stadium. Yeah. So you had to take a shuttle out there or whatever. Right. Got out there, realized it wasn't there, or I didn't have my ice scraper. I had like a blank CD randomly in the glove, and then the like center console. Yeah. Grabbed that thing, Use the CD to scrape off the
That
ice
thing
on my
probably
windshield.
had "Numb" by Linkin Park on there.
Probably, but because I had an aftermarket CD player in there, but I also had like Bluetooth and like aux, so
Yeah.
like I used my phone anyway.
Right.
Back in the old U2 free album uploaded to iTunes days.
Yep.
Back
Classic.
before Spotify had an app.
Yeah. Those are the days, man.
Yeah, you had to download music through iTunes.
Yeah. Break your computer with LimeWire.
Or YouTube to MP3 websites.
Yeah, dude, this is oh man. We should talk about basketball. We could go on this forever. I was literally about to go more on the LimeWire. Because that happened to you at Ball State. Let's talk about that.
That's kind of what I was leading into.
Apologize. Ball State, they went down one spot in Torvik from 313 to 314. Their records this week was 0-2. That brings them to 8-19 on the season and 3-11 in the MAC. So their first game this week was against Ohio. They lost 69-57, and then they lost to Akron 78-65. So, close wins, especially against a very good Akron team, right?
Yeah, and I
guess it's closer than you would expect.
I'd even go on to say that like the Ohio game. I guess we'll talk about that first. It was pretty close in the like early on in the first half. Like Ball State went on a 7-0 rally. It's like, okay, 13-9. It's respectable, 4-point game. And then Ohio went on a rally. And then kind of just Ball State like clawed back a little bit, but then it was Ohio just led the rest of the way. And I was like, okay, this is promising. Ohio's still a pretty good MAC team. But then that Akron game, I definitely got my hopes up. It was close game at halftime. About halfway through the second half, Ball State had it within 6. I was like, I even texted you. I was like, this is pretty surprising, pretty impressive. Like they are close. And then
by the time I looked at the game, it was not close.
I kid you not, minutes after IRL minutes, not like game minutes. So, maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Maybe a minute in game time. Akron went on a run. After I said that text, I was like, oh, he's going to look by the time he sees this text and he's going to think I'm full of shit. Yeah. and then I just didn't acknowledge it the rest of the way.
I didn't look at it like that much after the fact, I saw it pretty soon.
Yeah. It was, they very quickly went on like a 13-0 run. And then it was, that 13-point margin the rest of the half.
Yeah. I think honestly, it's impressive that they only lost by 12 when they only scored 15 points in the first half.
In that Ohio game?
Yeah. In the Ohio game, I was like, okay, there's one other game that I can think of that I think had a lower score at half, and I was right. I was like, this is either the lowest or the second lowest I've ever seen. The 15.5 is the second lowest since Virginia scored 14 against Colorado State in the NCAA tournament. Yeah. I'm sure there's been lower, obviously, but that's the lowest I can remember.
That you can remember.
Yeah, that I can remember. Like, those are the two that stick out to me. That's crazy. Yeah, Akron, made a lot of threes, made 13 of them. It's the most since they made 14 against Lemoyne.
Yeah. So those games are behind us, right? Last week we talked about there were 6 games left for the Cardinals. Ideally, you win 3, but, or at minimum you win 3. Ideally, you win 4, right? And hopefully you sneak one out against Ohio or Akron, right? Those were always going to be long shots. Those are kind of those games that like you definitely expected to lose, and you kept them close, which is good. And to me, that's strong promise. If they can like have that same approach in their remaining 4 games, I think they'll surprise us. But they have to win out at this point. I think they have to win out and have a lot of things go their way, like every team in front of them losing every game that is possible. Yeah, I think if they luckily lose one game, I think that their chances of the tournament are done. And the thing about it is Ball State's currently in last in the MAC. So every game they play is a team above them.
Are they really now?
Yeah, they moved down into last.
And there's 11 teams in the MAC now, Or is it 12?
12.
And the top 8 make it.
Correct. So they play UMass next. UMass is currently in 8th. So you minimum have to win that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you need them to drop a game.
Hey, they're tied for last against Western Michigan.
But, yeah, I don't know who has a tiebreaker. But they play Western Michigan. Mm-hmm. They play Central Michigan. And they play Northern Illinois.
Yeah, so they have to beat all those teams, right? It's every team except for Eastern Michigan.
Yeah.
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 UMass,
Central
Michigan,
I didn't
Michigan.
dive deep enough to figure out who does Western, Central, and NIU play.
I wasn't doing all that because, to be honest, we did that the last couple of years, and it was a waste of time because they ended up not.
At minimum,
they pretty much lost immediately as soon as they
they have to win their next 4.
Yeah,
or they are out.
Like UMass is 6 and 9,
and that's not us as experts say that. That's us as people who watch them and are looking at the standings and the records, saying you have to win all 4. And if they maybe drop one, then like there's obviously the scenario of like, oh, they dropped one. But the one that they dropped to, that team lost all of their games except for that one.
Right.
It's like,
but if they win 4
we're just
games,
making the statement: you win all 4, and you're probably in an okay spot.
You're hoping that someone else loses, because if you win 4 games, you're at 7 wins, which is one more than UMass has. So UMass would have to lose all of their games. Central Michigan would have to not win 2 games. Northern Illinois would have to not win 3 games.
You just control what you can control, win all 4. And hopefully the dominoes fall.
Maybe Buffalo and UMass just lose out, and then they win out, and then they do it.
Let's move on to Butler, though.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Butler, they moved up in Torvik. They're 69th, up from 74.
Nice.
They went 2-0 this week. They are 15-13 overall, 6-11 in the Big East. They won at Georgetown at 93-89, and they won over Xavier 80-75. Back on the right track.
It's about time, dude. It's about time we've had a 2-0 week. I wonder when the last time they had a 2-0 week was.
Been a while. But it's also been a while since the last time they had a win, so I was happy
January
with that.
20th and January 23rd. Back-to-back wins against DePaul and Marquette was the last time they won 2 in a row in the same week. So,
Got it.
And that's also, that was a 3-game winning streak where they beat Seton Hall. Yeah, and then it was so after that 3-game winning streak.
Then they went on their 6-game losing.
6-game losing skid. Yeah. So we're back.
Yes.
The dream lives on.
Yes.
9/11 is possible.
Whoa.
for the record wise, okay, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know not actual 9/11 was possible.
That is proven.
That still don't know who caused it. Jury's still out on that, but it did happen.
Unseal the file.
The Georgetown game, Thad Matta, 500th career win, huge milestone for any active coach to get that. Love to see that. They shot 70% in the first half. That is just absolutely electric.
Good. About time.
Yeah.
About time. This week's just about time.
They commanded this game for the most part. Towards the end, Georgetown kind of, started to give them some trouble, and that's why we see a closer score than what the bulk of the game looked like. But the Bulldogs, they dug deep and they held on to the lead.
Yeah, I mean, they shot, like you said, really well. I mean, they got off to a good start, which is like not that common with the Butler team. I feel like sometimes they get off to pretty atrocious starts. Ajayi, dude, is just so good. Like, I'm so sad that he doesn't have a healthy team around him, because, like, what did he have? 24 points or something in the Xavier game? And it was like, I think he had 24 points.
Yeah, 24. He was 24 and 9.
Like, actually, legitimately, like, one of the best Butler players ever. Sneakily, he just doesn't have a team that's healthy around him that could make the NCAA tournament, unfortunately.
Yeah, and in that Xavier game, it was his senior day. They honored him, they honored Yami Butler, and they honored Traore. So, and Ajayi and Traore both had great games. Ajayi, he was 24 and 9. Traore had 21, which is his Butler high.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was also 11 for 13 from the line, which is his career high from the free throw
and
line.
we've seen this team shoot free throws sometimes, so that's good.
Yeah.
I got to say, seeing him get to 501 wins, I was looking this up. I was looking to see like how many wins like
Thad Matta for those.
Yeah, Thad Matta has 501 wins. After the Xavier game, he has 501 wins, and I was like, I was trying to find a list of active coaches, and I couldn't find it. I didn't do like a ton of research, but I found a list of just like, you know, he's in the top 200s ever with like, you know, the amount of wins he has.
Mm-hmm.
He's one behind Billy Donovan.
So he needs
college
502.
basketball. So if he gets 502, he'll tie Billy Donovan. 503 puts him ahead of Billy Donovan. And they've got like a very similar win, you know, wins. Billy Donovan's 502 and 206, and Thad Matta's 501 and 220. So like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Billy
nice,
Donovan,
it's nice to be talked about.
Notoriously good basketball coach.
Great college basketball coach, right? So, you know, like just crazy when you like put it in that. Like obviously he went to a Final Four at Ohio State, but you know, things haven't been as good at Butler as we would have expected. And if you ask Dan Hurley, he'll tell you it's because of their NIL. And honestly, I do too.
Yeah. Yeah. The crazy thing to me the last thing I want to say before we move on. So in that Xavier game, Butler shot 11 threes out of their 55 attempts. Okay. It's all right. It's not bad. Over half of Xavier's shot attempts were threes. They had 32 of their like, I think they had a very similar like 55 to 60.
Yeah.
Like that to me is always just wild.
It's like Alabama.
Like
dude.
I mean, that's kind of what you expect from a Xavier team. Like they're going to shoot the three, but when you compare it to they shot 22 more or 21 more threes, but also Butler won. Not too shabby.
Richard Pitino's there, right? Yeah.
Correct.
They keep having the amount of like coaches switching around it still takes me forever to not remember. Like still is twists my brain that Sean Miller's at Texas.
Every time I see him in like a clip,
yeah,
and I see that the Longhorn logo on it, I was like, what? It's
Yeah.
like, when did Archie get to
right?
I was like, no, Sean's in Xavier.
Sean's sweatier. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but like I just don't in my head doesn't look at that and think like,
yeah,
Sean is in Texas.
Right.
And obviously we know Archie wouldn't, but like still baffles me to see that.
Yeah. It's just still I'm not used to seeing it on the sideline.
It's yeah.
Let's talk about Evansville. They went down quite a bit here from 298 down to 310. So we talked about it last week. They were flirting with the 300s. Now they are fully invested in the 300s. They went 0-2 this week. That brings them to 6-22 and 2-15 on the in the Missouri Valley. They lost to Illinois Chicago, UIC. That's 84-46. And then they followed up that performance with the little surprising, like score-wise, that loss at Murray State, 88-75. Like both Illinois Chicago and Murray State are on the top section, like top chunk of the conference. But to me, like you got the good shooting team against Murray State, and then you got the bad shooting Evansville team against
Quite literally.
UIC. Like that's what it was.
That UIC game, I was like, I felt kind of good about it early on. Just like, okay, it was a very low scoring game for the first like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Evansville does well in low scoring games. Like that's what like they want you to score a few points because they also score a few points.
Yeah.
They're like a Virginia team. Sometime it depends on what Evansville you're going to get.
The amount of points they score are like a Virginia team, and that's where the comparison stops.
Well, I know,
but yes, they are more defensive, right?
But
we're trying to be.
Yeah, they shot 17 of 52 from the field. They shot 7 of 32 from three. That's not going to do you any favors, especially when UIC goes 16 for 27 from three.
I would say, like. This is a team that like lives and dies by the three, but like normally when they live and die, like normally when a team lives and dies by the three, it's like Alabama. It's like their shots aren't falling, so they lose by 4.
Yeah,
but it's like no, it's like they're the epitome of this. It's like we're gonna win by 5 and score 80 points, or we're gonna lose by 45 and make 3 threes and launch 40 of them.
Yeah, I mean, UIC had dang near more threes made than Evansville had baskets.
It was absolutely disgusting. And it was in their own building, too.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
Yeah.
Illinois Chicago came into the Ford Center and said, rename it the UIC Center, dude.
And in the Murray State game, like, yeah, it sucks that they lost, but I'm looking at the little victories. They had a much better game than the UIC game, so I'm choosing to stand on that. Of like, this is what we would prefer to see.
Yeah, you can't even blame officiating for the fact that they only shot 6 free throws and Murray State shot 26 because they launched 29 threes. They were trying to shoot a bunch of threes, right? They weren't trying to kill them in the paint like Murray State tries to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an Evansville fan and you're on the internet and apparently I have heard that the message boards are hot about Evansville, and Twitter's been pretty hot too, and there's a lot of disgruntled fans about the winning
program.
6 games, and I think 2 of them are against non-D1 teams.
Yeah.
So a lot of disgruntled fans are calling for a head coaching change. I don't know if there's gonna be a head coaching change. I think, didn't he just get an extension last year, or was that 2 years ago? Was that 2 years ago?
I don't know. They're a private school.
The product. Well, I think they had an announcement on it. The product on the floor.
His current contract, according to the news, he got a 3-year extension, which runs through 2029-2030 season.
Okay,
so that was
last
offseason. Yeah, it was April or March,
2025.
May of 2025.
Yeah. That's a crazy extension to throw out there. Like, obviously I don't I don't know. It's part of our job to talk about like if they're gonna move on from their coach or not.
I wonder if it says what his buyout is.
You'll never find it because it's a private school.
I know, but
I think that if you're an Evansville fan, you're justified for wanting a coaching change.
How long has he been there? Is this his 4th year?
Yeah, I believe so. This is because usually it's like a 4-year contract to start, so they would have given the extension for a 7-year. I think that it's time.
Yeah, 2022 is when he started.
Like he's had some good players come through, but your team should be better for the level of player that you've the level of players has been fine. The performance has not been fine, and this year's been up and down. But even their good win against Oregon State is not a good win because they're atrocious. Evansville should not be in the 300s.
No,
none IU Indy is not winning games either, but they're not in the 300s.
Right.
I don't know, and
Still
and they're in the
more
Horizon
games,
League. They're in the Horizon League,
yeah.
a lower league. Missouri Valley, you can't be in the 300s and expect to keep your job, in my mind.
Yeah.
So.
Moving on to Indiana. They are 29th in Torvik. That is down from 24. They went 0-1 this week. Only played 1 game. They are 17-10 overall, 8-8 in the Big Ten. They lost at Purdue. And saying the word loss is an understatement. The score was 93-64. I knew going into this game it was going to be a very uphill battle for a variety of reasons. A few to mention. The Purdue seniors, present at the time, had a losing record against Indiana. They were 3-4. So had a chip on their shoulder to right that and try and get it back up to even, which they did. Purdue had just gotten kind of rolled by Michigan.
Yeah.
At their crib still.
Yeah.
In Mackey. So
they were losing 2 in a row in Mackey.
Yeah, had to right that. Also, just in general, Purdue lately, really good rebounding team. Indiana, not a really good rebounding team. So those 3 factors alone, take everything outside of the equation. To me, it was okay, this is going to be a battle. Purdue's gonna come in and they're gonna try and whoop ass, and they did.
Yeah, I mean, if you start from the beginning of February to now, Purdue's the 4th best team in the country.
Yeah,
Michigan, Florida, Illinois, Purdue.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And Indiana is scrolling in the 50s, still scrolling. 67. Yeah. So, I mean, with those, if you're looking at those rankings, like that score is, seems about right. But yeah, I mean, I went to bed. Like, I was tired and it was a Friday night and I chose to go to bed rather than stay up because I was like, it's not. Like, I went to bed at halftime. I mean, absolutely embarrassing performance for having a week off. Like, to just lay an egg. 8-8. You're flirting with the bubble too much. Like, obviously, like, losing at Purdue is the expected result.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice that you got the win over Purdue.
Yeah.
So you got to win, 2-3 games at least, to feel good about making the tournament if you're an IU fan.
Yep. Anything else?
No, I mean, Nick Dorn after UCLA has basically done nothing. He had 26 against UCLA, then he's had 6 points, 0 points, 11 points, 1 point, and 0 points, and played like at least 25 minutes in all those games. So that's a little disappointing. Guys have been like Trent Sisley, buried on the bench.
Yeah.
Reed Bailey was hot at one point, not seeing the floor very much and not being productive when he was seeing the floor. So, like, I don't blame DeVries for not playing him because he's not, not doing anything when he's out there. So, other than like Lamar and Tucker sometimes.
Yeah.
And Connerway sometimes. Other than Lamar.
Yeah.
It's pretty bleak.
Full stop. So Indiana State, they are 214. That is down from 207. They did go 0-2 this week. They're 10-19 overall, 3-15 in the Valley. They lost to Northern Iowa 81-60, and they lost at Belmont 87-70. Well, the UNI game, the 10th time this season that the Sycamores have allowed 80 or more points. So that's quite a lot. And it's also the 10th time this season where they had an opponent shoot 50% or better from the field. So that's not a promising thing, especially when you look at Indiana State's 8-1 when they give up 73 or more points, 73 or less, excuse me. And then they're 2-17 when they allow 74 or more points. So that alone tells me if you score 80 against Indiana State, you're probably going to win. If you score 74, you're probably going to win. But
I think it was a close game and a half.
Yeah.
But then they got outscored by 19. UNI shot 60% from the field and from three in the second half. ISU was 35% and 10% from three. They went 1 for 10 from three in the second half.
Yeah.
So, like, you couldn't guard them at all, and then your shots weren't falling. So that's how you lose by 21.
Yeah. In the Belmont game, shout out the machine, Ian Scott. He had his 2000th career point.
That is a lot of points.
Yeah.
That's a ton of points, dude.
Yeah.
And a ton of wins.
Capped it off with a double-double. He was 16 and 11 points to rebounds. And then Camp Swagner, lesson learned. He's always going to shoot lights out against Belmont.
Every game against Belmont.
Every game. He had 5 made threes in December against them. He had 4 made threes in this game.
Glad to see he's shooting better.
Yeah. All he needed was a game against Belmont to
a get right game
to get it right. That's that.
That's all I got. I mean,
I think that there's just been a lot of growing pains there, and they're
I don't really know.
Injuries.
I don't really know what to expect from this team. I mean, they are second to last, only above Evansville, which is not where I had projected them by any means, but it's disappointing because I thought that the team was going to be better. I thought that Coach Graves was going to do a better job, and I don't know, man. Like, it's hard because there was such a high with shirts.
Yeah.
And like, obviously that's an outlier. Like, obviously Shirts is just, he's going to get any job he wants this offseason. Like, he was just that good. He should have, he could have done that from Indiana State if he had not committed to St. Louis first or whatever was the story there. but like he could be at Louisville right now. Legitimately, he could be at Louisville.
Yeah,
and he probably will be at he'll be at Power 5 school. And like
I think he'll be in the Big East somewhere next year.
Yeah, and so it's like it's hard to judge. It's hard to judge the performance following that. Like that's a little unfair to Coach Graves.
Yeah,
and this is only his second year. It's like give him another year, give him 2, and see how it works out.
Yep. IUND, they are 277. That is up from 281, so moving in the right direction. It is so lovely to see that they're not in the 300s after being there for
close, really, anymore.
Ever. Yeah. They went 0-1. They are 7-22 overall, 3-15 in the league. They lost at Wright State 85-73, and that was their only game this week. Big thing. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to say first. Shot poorly from 3. Okay, they're not a great 3-point shooting team in general. And then Wright State, just a much taller team. It's like that. They were
still top of the league, right?
Yeah, they're disrupting a lot of their shots there. So that's a difference maker. Still love to see that 11 steals.
Yeah, I mean, it's still turning people over more than they're being turned over usually.
Yeah. And I mean, they forced 15 total turnovers, 11 of which were steals. So that's
I feel like all
great.
their turnovers aren't even the ball being stolen. It's just like an errant pass that gets thrown away.
Yeah. The difference maker here was definitely free throws.
Yeah.
By like far and away free throws. I didn't even write down the differential because it was a lot.
I've got stats on this, so
Okay.
I was actually looking the team up on Torvik, and because I was like, where are they in free throw rate?
And it's trending. Like we've talked about that too. Free throws have not been a thing of where they've found success.
Right. Part of the style of play.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But they are the worst team in college basketball in free throw rate. Obviously, they have more possessions than most games, but looking at how many times they get to the line for the number of possessions they have, they are the literal last team on offense. And then they are 359th, so 6 spots away from last in defensive free throw rate. So they send their opponents to the line more than 358 of the other teams do in college basketball. If you have 1, it's okay because it's like you're not going to the line, the other team's not going to the line, or you're going to the line, we're going to the line a lot. Like that's fine.
Yeah,
they're sending people to the line and they're never getting to the line. That is how you have a 7-22 record, because you're putting it in that's like a 16-point swing, like every game basically. That like they're getting 16 free points and you're not getting those by getting to the line. So like
it's
they
fine.
could be like a 15-win team if they were shooting more and fouling less.
Even like if they just shot better in general, I think they'd be fine. And that's kind of like what Howlett wants. Like they're taking a lot of shots.
Yeah,
they're just also missing a lot of shots.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's probably okay if they have a better shooting percentage. And I don't even know what they're shooting, how they compare nationally in effective field goal percent. But I expect presently it's not very high. Probably in like the 200s.
They are effective field goal percentage on 164th.
Yeah.
Their effective field goal percentage defense, 362nd.
Okay. So yeah, their
opponent 2-point defense is 349th. So like their opponents are shooting really well against them. 3-point defense is very bad too. Yeah, so I don't know. They'll get it figured out next year. This is a free year for me. He got hired super late. He'll get his guys.
Yeah. Yep.
Notre Dame, they went down from 85 to 92. They did that by going 0-1 this week. They're 12-15 overall and 3-11 in the ACC. Their one game this week was a loss at Pitt 73-68. Not getting blown out though. Generally they're not getting blown out in these games.
Yeah,
which is good.
it is. It's promising. I'm okay with that, especially when you're losing again, beating a dead horse here. You're missing your junior starting point guard.
You're quite literally missing like 23 points a game.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Take 5 away from Jalen Harrelson and take 3 away from Marcus Burns. Say he'll average 18. That's so many wins here.
Yeah, and it also doesn't help when this team should be good 3-point shooters. They shoot a lot. But when you're 9 for 38 from 3, and when you've got Cole Serta and Braden Shrewsbury combining for 4 of 25.
Yeah, when those are supposed to be your shooters.
Yeah, that's not going to help, especially when you're also getting doubled up at the free throw line. They went Notre Dame was 7 of 14 from the line, compared to Pitt's 18 for 27. So like, again, kind of in the same vein of the IU-ND. Yeah, is you got to make those threes that you're putting up. And you make 2 more of those, you win this game.
Yeah. And like
you go 11 for 30 for 38, you win this game.
Yeah,
you go 11 for 40, you win this game.
It's almost like an Evansville 3-point shooting percentage.
Yeah, and that's just not what you want for this team. It's kind of not what they're built around.
Yeah, and when you shoot 38 threes, you're not going to get to the line ever.
Yeah.
like ever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, again, like this is another coach whose seat is going to be hot at the end of the year. I think he's going to get another year. I think he'll be fine. His buyout's like $1 billion. Like it's like 12 million or something. They're not going to fork that up, nor do I think that they should. I think he should absolutely get 1 year give him a healthy team, and I think he can get things going if his guys come back.
Yeah. Yep. Purdue Fort Wayne, they are 261 in Torvik. That is the same as they were last week. They went 1-1 this week. They're 16-13 overall, 10-8 in the conference. They lost at Northern Kentucky 87-71, and they won at Cleveland State 92-86. That Northern Kentucky game, DeAndre Craig, 1,000th career point.
Shout out to the boy.
Excellent for him. Anything else from those 2 games? There's a few stats. You pulled some stats on IU-ND. I coincidentally pulled some stats on Purdue Fort Wayne that I want to talk about.
So Northern Kentucky took 10 more shots, and then but they also made 10 more. So they took 10 more, and then they made them, right? They got out rebounded, lost the turnover battle, which is surprising. They don't usually lose the turnover battle. They usually take care of the ball, and then they got outscored in the paint by 20. So like that's how you lose at Northern Kentucky. And then the only thing I really had at Cleveland State was like I was watching this, went, took a shower, came back in the second half, and they were up 20, and I was like, awesome, I'm gonna turn it off. And I was like, nah, I'll just leave it on. Went into the kitchen, did something, came back, and I was like, wait, what? Because they were up 20, and then it was like immediately, boom, like they were back within 10, and then they got with it like. Cleveland State got within 2 at one point, but PFW was able to hold them off. But I was just like, no. I was supposed to be fine, and we've seen that a little bit. They've lost a lot of leads this year, and have not held on to them.
And I mean, part of that run from Cleveland State, right, is 3 straight threes.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
3 straight threes, and then a free throw to get 10 straight points. And then I think maybe PFW scored, and then they made like another 3 or 2 or something. It was nuts.
And it's kind of ironic that those things happened. You mentioned the rebounded battle, losing that against Northern Kentucky. We talked about the 3 straight threes for Cleveland State.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked it up. Purdue Fort Wayne, I didn't pull their exact number, but they're in the 350s in offensive rebound percent, both offense, so them getting offensive rebounds,
357th,
and then also in the 350s in offensive rebound percentage on defense,
335.
Okay, so they moved up a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So they don't rebound the ball offensively, and they let the other team offensively
rebound the ball offensively. So that's already kind of a recipe for disaster, right? You want to probably have one of those be better than the other, and they're relatively the same. So not great. Hurts when you don't have the hardest working man in America.
True.
On your team down low. But they're also one of the worst 3-point percentage defensive teams, which just means, and I don't know their exact number. If you have it up, you can say it. They were, I think, in the 350s when I looked earlier.
In what? I'm sorry.
3-point percentage defense.
352.
Okay, yeah. Which means the teams are going to shoot lights out against them.
Yeah.
Right. They do not defend the 3-ball well. So we saw the offensive thing with Northern Kentucky, and we saw a little bit of the 3-point shooting for Cleveland State. Right. Obviously, they still won the Cleveland State game, which is good. But those are two things that are very uncharacteristic, I think, of a typical Kaufman team, just because they've typically got a big, solid guy down low, and they had Eric Mulder for 3 or 4 years. They could eat up some of those rebounds, both on the offensive and defensive side.
Yeah.
But then also, they run a lot of guards, and they've got guys that can defend the perimeter with your Jalen Jacksons, your Rasheed Bellows, your Quentin Morton Robinsons that we saw in years past. Don't have that much as much this year, which, again, adapting to the style of play in the league, trying to figure out how can we make work. And Kaufman, we've had him on the show several times. He's talked about it. He's got his recipe, right? He's got his things where he finds guys and plugs them in. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like, that's just the way he recruits. And I'm not saying he recruited bad guys. I just think, he recruits that way, but it just didn't kind of translate as much this year so far. But either way, they're still have a winning record in both the league and overall, which is good. So they're finding ways to win outside of those kind of negative aspects and that I called out, which...
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is not a great rebounding team. I mean, you can erase some of that if you just are a little bit better 3-point shooting team, like they're 120th at 35%.
Yeah.
Like Notre Dame's 78th, they're 35.6. So, like, they're not far off, but like if you're shooting like 38%, like Purdue's 19th in that stat, you can erase a lot of those issues, because then you're obviously not giving up rebounds if your shots are going in.
Yeah.
As crazy as that does sound.
Yeah, still really good team. Still a team that I think can compete with the top of the conference.
Yeah, I think
could be pretty surprising.
I think they're a dangerous team. They're one that you always have to watch out for. I don't think that they have like the close ability, I guess, is what, like, the finishing ability as like the other teams have to like close out games that are tight. We've seen them give up runs, that kind of, when they have a lead and then they give up a lead and then lose the game in the closing minutes, or like let somebody go on like a run and lose by 20. That's not how it was last year. Last year they were like, if they were down, they could be the team that hits 3 threes in a row very easily.
Yeah. Let's move on to Purdue. They are Torvik ranked 7th. That is the same as they were last week. They did go 1-1 this week. They're 22-5 overall, 12-4 in the Big Ten. They lost to Michigan, who was at the time the number 1 ranked team in the country, 91-80, and they won over Indiana, as we mentioned earlier, 93-64.
Michigan, I mean, this one was just an ass beating, honestly, is what it felt like.
Yeah.
It felt like Trey Kaufman-Renn was really good.
He was, in fact.
He used 27 points, 12 boards. Like,
yeah, and he is
both.
The third player in the last 20 years to have at least 27 points and 10 rebounds against the number 1 team in the country. Fun fact. So it's the last 20 years.
Nice.
Right?
It happened twice.
It happened twice this season. JT Toppin did it against Arizona last week, and then the last one.
ACL dog.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. We're talking about that later.
You brought him up.
And the last one was like in like 2010, 2011, 11, 12, 13, one of those years.
Yeah. he felt like Trey Kaufman felt like he was putting everything on the line. I mean, the unfortunate thing is like Zach Edey's not your 5 anymore. Oscar Clough is, and Oscar Clough is like great at what he does, but Michigan is a lot better at the 5. Like they just are.
Yeah.
They've got 7-footers that can run and, finish at the hoop and rim protect, and it's just a different ball game. And so Trey Kaufman was honestly did really well for having to play their bigs. They just normally when you see Purdue lose, like it's because the team was super hot from 3, which Michigan was. Purdue gives up a lot of threes, but also like you see them lose when they turn the ball over. They didn't really turn the ball over. They just straight up got beat. Got beat.
The crazy thing to me is Purdue is 3-21 all time against number 1 ranked teams. They're 1-6 against number 1 ranked teams in Mackey. Their only win in Mackey against a number 1 ranked team was in 1978.
Over who?
I don't know. I didn't dig that deep.
Dang, man, you had me hooked. No
well, it was a 78-79 season, so I don't know who was good back then. Indiana, but it probably wasn't Indiana.
No, doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's why I didn't write it down.
Well, you had me right. You're like, it's only one, their first win since this. I just thought you were gonna, just had me. I was ready to hear it.
Sorry. They're also unfortunately, at the time, had lost 3 straight games in Mackey for the first time since the 2019-2020 season.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Sorry, not straight games, but 3 games in general.
That was surprising, but you knew that there was no way they were going to lose to IU.
Yep.
After that Michigan loss, and they didn't. Braden Smith, Omar Meyer, Trey Kaufman, Fletcher Lur all had 15 or more. They were all great. They just it started out kind of slow. There's a lot of threes that weren't going in back and forth. Purdue would hit one more, and then Tucker DeVries did a 3, and then it's just out of the half. When I watched the second half after the next day, because I went to bed because it was not an exciting game. Yeah, it's just they cooked them. Out rebounded IU 30-15. It was never in doubt. It was just never even close.
It was a historic game for Purdue. Right. First off, Fletcher didn't miss a shot. Period. 5 for 5 from the field, 4 for 4 from 3, 4 for 4 from the line. So 100% efficiency there, which is something you expected coming off that Michigan game. But a crazy thing to me, Purdue shot a season high 64.7% from the field, including a 66.7% in the second half. That's the highest shooting percentage of a Purdue team under Matt Painter. So in his career, they also averaged 1.55 points per possession, which is the 5th highest total in school history. So just an absolutely historic night, which was
literally.
Which was a great way to bounce back from that Michigan game.
They had something to prove. They were not gonna graduate going 3-5 against Indiana.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Southern Indiana. You want to talk about them? They had a good week. For the first time in a long time, they had a good week. They went from 344 up to 341. 2-0 this week. That brings them to 7-21 on the season and 4-14 in the Ohio Valley. They beat Western Illinois at Western Illinois 77-70, and they beat Eastern Illinois after that 70-68. So they got 2 road wins. They went to Illinois, smacked them around, and came home.
Yeah, and I mean, it's wish that this would have come a couple weeks ago.
Literally a couple of weeks. Literally even last week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it'd be beat Western Illinois, which was the only team below them in the league. They were 3 for 16 from 3, and then 20 of 30 from the free throw line versus Western Illinois' 9 for 17 and 7 for 12. which is okay, right? You want to make a couple more threes, but if you're getting to the line, you're those points are making up for some of those missed threes. But then the game also helped them help them avoid a 7-game losing skid. So they were coming off of 6 straight losses. And now they're on 2 straight wins.
For the second time this year. The first time was when they beat Valpo and Kentucky State. It's the first time they did it against D1 competition.
Yeah. The crazy thing for me about this is the Eastern Illinois game. Right? Southern Illinois got absolutely dominated in the paint. They got out-rebounded. They turned the ball over more.
Yep.
But they still outshot Eastern Illinois and got the win.
Hit their threes. They hit 6 more threes.
So that was good. It's always sucks when you like look at the box score, and I try to avoid looking at box scores. Obviously, like I'll pull out some of the shooting stats or whatever. But I don't like. I've tried this year more than in the last couple years of the show to like avoid pulling out those stats. But then I looked at that. I'm like, how the hell did they win? Sometimes
it is just like a math problem. You're like,
yeah.
Hang on.
And then I caught myself doing the math of like, okay, especially in that Western Illinois game, I was like, okay, 3 for 16 from 3, 20 made free throws. Okay, so that's 29 points there. Well, Western Illinois had 7 made free throws, 9 made. So like,
I wish a box score would break it down between 2-point percentage and 3-point percentage.
Make it easier, especially for a guy who's
goal.
Not a math guy
anymore.
Like me.
Once upon a time, you were.
Yeah. I was many moons ago.
So
back when I was scraping ice off my windshield with a CD.
There we go. Exactly. And I was sticking my head out of a.
Actually, I wouldn't have even been a math major at that point because I would have been winter.
Yeah.
And I left the math major pretty early on.
You didn't make it through the first semester, did you?
Nope.
You switched?
Yep. I don't think I made it through the first quarter.
Heck yeah. Our last team, Valpo, they went up quite a bit here from 157 to 142. They went 2-0 this week, 16-13 overall, 10-8 in the Missouri Valley. They won, beat Bradley 79-72, and they won at UIC 71-67.
And coming off of that 2-0 week, the Valpo Beacons are our Hickory Team of the Week. Really for a variety of reasons, right? This is their most Missouri Valley Conference wins ever. Still games to play, which is great. It's their most wins in a season period since 2020. They snapped a 10-game losing streak against Bradley, so got right there. They tied for the most home wins in a season thus far. Right, since the 2016-2017 season. JT Pettigrew in that UIC game, he broke the freshman rebounding record that has stood since the 1999-2000 season. He's currently sitting at 190. Again, still games to be played, so we'll definitely see that increase. They've been continuing to limit turnovers to single digits over the last 4 games, so keeping control of the ball. They had 17 assists against UIC, which is their most against a D1 opponent this year, and their 3rd straight game with 15 or more assists. They had 4 guys in double digits against Bradley. They had 5 guys in double digits against UIC. And Coach Powell said, "We're going to keep making history. We've got toughness in our locker room, and we've got connectivity. This is a brand new team, and we've figured it out. Our players have given us their hearts, and our staff has given our hearts to them. That's what we're seeing. They're playing for each other. They're playing for us. It's beautiful." And I could not agree with Coach Powell anymore. It is truly beautiful. And after this week, it's we're excited to say that they are our Hickory Team of the Week for the 2nd time this season.
I think so. Sounds right. Yeah, dude. I mean, I love everything about this Valpo team, man. I also loved in the UIC game Isaiah Barnes' absolute poster, dude.
Yeah.
We might have to put him on trial for murder because he killed a man in Chicago. Another violence in Chicago. It's terrible. It's terrible. It was crazy. And like Valpo just being 10-8, like I thought that I felt really good watching them in Arch Madness this last year.
Mm-hmm.
It feels so much better to watch them just be like good again. And like top 3 seed in the Missouri Valley in Arch Madness is not out of the question. It's not even a long shot. Like if they went out, it's likely.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. If they get top 5, they get the first round bye.
Okay.
So the 4 and the 5 seed play each other. So the top 5 seeds get a bye. So they're like looking pretty good for a bye. So fingers crossed that they win those 2 more games, man. Because that's all they have left.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely great things are brewing up there in Valparaiso. We've been very positive about this team and just Coach Powell in general since he's been there. Like the way he's adapted, obviously has a winning background, coming from Illinois as a player. Then obviously coached under some great coaches throughout his career up to this point, both at Vanderbilt and Gonzaga. Knows how to win.
Yeah.
And obviously you go to a smaller school like Valpo is in terms of, just college size and whatnot.
And they're punching above their weight class in the Missouri Valley NIL wise.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that's a big thing is like when it comes to resources, especially.
Yeah. Their gym's old. Their NIL's not like what other teams have.
Shoot, it's about to be.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like they're the fan base is not what it used to be because of, a lot of factors, but it's just not. And like this team was picked last.
Yeah.
In the preseason. Last.
And they're flirting with third.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's what they've got brewing. And I think I talked about it last week. A buddy of mine, but I'm going to reiterate it for anyone who didn't catch that. A buddy of mine asked me, he was like, okay, with the tournament coming up, who are some teams in Indiana to watch out for? Like, obviously, we know, okay, Indiana can probably make it if they figure things out over the last couple of games. Purdue's definitely going to make the tournament. Who else, right? He was more so asking, like, who else? Mm-hmm. And Valpo was the first thing I said. I talked about, what Coach Powell is doing, the culture that he's building, their ability to just take over a game. Any guy can step up at any point. What he's doing with freshmen, keep in mind. They're like best players, and they had
they had like a rotating cast of freshmen.
Yeah, they had Servillas step up as a freshman this week too. Like they're a team to watch out for, undoubtedly.
Yeah,
like if they can make a run and win the Arch Madness, then we're looking at a team that could realistically compete in a first round game, at minimum.
Yeah, I mean, just the way they play, like they fight so hard, and it's just perfect.
Yeah,
and like it's been brought up. People have brought it up to me. Like, any chance Powell leaves, I would give him a look if I was school, because of what he's done at Valpo. Like, is very impressive, and like he's learned from Mark Few. Like he's been to Gonzaga. He's learned from Bryce Drew. Like he's learned from good coaches. And he's clearly got buy-in at Valpo from the players and everything. I just think he's a perfect fit for Valpo. Is the thing?
Yeah, I think these are like why would you want to leave outside of money?
Yeah, I mean,
and he's not the kind of guy that
Illinois is not looking for a coach, so like he's not going to go back to Illinois.
Yeah,
he's not nowhere. There's nowhere else in Illinois. Like Northwestern's not looking. They're not going to hire him. Like,
I mean, if Travis Steele leaves Miami, then like, does Miami call?
I mean, maybe,
but either way, like, I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but I imagine he took a little bit of a pay cut leaving Gonzaga and Vanderbilt to come to Valpo. But like,
would you rather be?
He's not the type of guy that does it for the money. I mean, you saw you listened to that quote that I just said,
right?
Of like, that's the type of.
Yeah, he cares.
That's the type of guy he cares. He loves, and there were other quotes. He's like, yeah, I show my players love. I hug on them.
And if he can do it at Valpo, like, why does it matter?
Yeah,
and he has ties to Valpo.
Yeah,
he's an Illinois guy, but like he has ties to Valpo. He's been at Valpo for a long time.
Yep.
And come back. So like, I don't see any reason for him to leave unless it was like a crazy job. Like he's been an assistant at Gonzaga. Like he's not going to leave to go be an assistant somewhere. I would give him a head coaching look, but I think he'll be back and wrecking the Missouri Valley.
Yeah, he's one of those coaches that I think is just going to retire him. Like,
I mean, I don't know, because like if he continues to have success,
I guess he is still pretty young too.
If he continues to have success, like I would continue to, have him on my radar if I'm a high major team.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, man. He seems like he's a perfect fit at Valpo too.
Yeah. But that's all we have for our team recaps. Before we start talking about next week, we've got one more thing to talk about. Adam?
And just my name. Jimmy Chitwood this week goes to Trey Kaufman-Renn from Purdue. In the game against Michigan, he had a team high and game high 27 points and 12 rebounds, and he just kind of led the team from the beginning, was like trying to will them to a victory, just set the tone early against Michigan's big front line. And then against Indiana, where they won 93-64, he had 20 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 8 for 10 from the field, and he only played 26 minutes. That they just started off early. He got his, set the tone, just shut the door on IU even having a chance in that game, and just really was the toughest guy on the floor in both games in my mind. And so for those reasons, he's our Jimmy Chitwood of the week for week 16. Now let's move on. Games next week. So this is actually coming up. This is the last week
For a number of our teams.
Yeah, for everybody who's not a power conference team or the MAC. So last games for Valpo, last games for Evansville, last game for Indiana State, last games for IU-Indy, Purdue Fort Wayne,
and Southern Illinois,
and Southern Indiana.
Yeah.
Southern Illinois will also be done too. But they're not being talked about. So we do actually have 2 in-state matchups. Let's talk about those first. Purdue Fort Wayne at IU-Indy got rescheduled. It got snowed out. So they're playing at IU-Indy on the 28th at 2 p.m. Purdue Fort Wayne IU-Indy is favored in that game by 3.5. And then Valpo closes the season at Evansville, where Valpo's favored by 5. So that's going to be a real tough game to end on the road against Evansville. Which Evansville team is going to show up? Don't know.
Jury's still out. I played a close game last time they played. Any game at this point from Ball State is important, right? They have to win out. They are, I believe, underdogs in their remaining 4. They play Massachusetts, UMass on the 24th at 7 p.m. They're 4.5-point dogs there. That is a game you have to win at minimum. Like, even if they drop another one, then like still
a chance, but
it's like that meme of like you're saying. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. You got to win this game. That's a big one. Indiana.
That's a big one.
They play
Michigan State.
They play Northwestern as well, but that should be pretty. Hopefully, pretty easy.
Should not be a problem.
Easy game there.
Purdue plays Michigan State too.
Yeah. So
Purdue plays them on Tuesday, I think. No, Wednesday. What's today?
Today's the 22nd. Sunday.
Okay. So,
Purdue plays them on Thursday.
Okay.
The 26th. It's my sister's birthday. So yeah, on Sunday, the 1st, Indiana plays Michigan State, where they apparently it's an even game. Seems odd to me.
IU hosting Michigan State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
IU's it's
just home game gives you 3
toss-up.
points. So, that could be a close game, but it also depends on which Indiana team. We've seen sparks of greatness. We've also seen some pretty poor performances, so that's a big game.
A win over Michigan State would really solidify their
resume.
tournament chances.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about next week, or well, let's talk
The
about
other
the other
49.
49.
You're not very
Yeah.
good at this whole switching segments thing. That's why I'm here.
When was the last time? You just said Adam. You usually ask me more than that, man. That's on you.
That really just threw you off. It threw you off.
I was waiting for
Threw
you.
up your game.
I was waiting for
in
you.
general.
It's a cold I can't get rid of.
So expanding our lens, right? Looking at the other 49 this past week, this has been to me like the juiciest college basketball season of just things going on.
It's been like one of the best college basketball seasons that I can remember. Like it's just been so good. Like you got
both the product on the court, but also the drama behind the scenes.
Yeah, like you've got an undefeated team still.
Yeah.
You had undefeated teams for too long.
Yeah.
And you still got one that will seemingly not lose. And you got Mick Cronin crashing out on reporters every game.
Dude, someone made a one shining moment montage of his crash outs.
There's so many.
It was like 2.5 minutes. I watched the whole thing.
The latest one was the reporter was asking him if like the Izzone was getting in their heads or whatever, and he was like, "Why would I care?" The guy said something. He's like, "You raising your voice at me?" Said, "Yes, you are. They all heard it. It was on video."
Yeah, it was after that someone took that and then made the one shining moment real.
Are you raising your voice at me, dude? Oh my God. He was like, "What do you say? Congratulations. That's the stupidest question I've been asked." It's like every week is a new stupid question,
and it's great. Like the video that I saw, I was like, it deserves an Emmy. It was just so well put together. It's just a highlight reel of Mick Cronin lowlights.
Yeah,
with the one shining moment song just in the background.
But the thing is, that happened, and then I don't know if this was true or not, but I did see that someone said that he went in and asked if he had embarrassed the university or something with like his comments because of the K-State firing Jerome Tang. I imagine that's not real,
but that would be pretty
so funny. Yeah, and then that he said that on Tuesday, and then also on Tuesday, St. Louis, who should have been an undefeated team, they had the loss against Cal by like 1 or 2. They go to Rhode Island, Archie Miller's Rhode Island, and they lose 81-76. And then what does Rhode Island do next? They lose to a 4-10 in conference LaSalle team the very next game. And that, my friends, is what we call the Archie Miller special. Here's a 7-game losing streak. Here's the 7 game. We lost 7 out of 8 games. What's the one game you won? Number 5, Michigan State in Breslin. It's like, dude, it's insane.
Yeah.
We were talking about Archie Miller. Was that before the show? Yeah, we were talking about Archie Miller before the show. What was the anomaly? His year at Dayton or his
his Elite 8 year at Dayton.
Gotta be that one.
And on Wednesday, Mason Clavo.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Forgot his inhaler. He's a player for Illinois State. Forgot his inhaler. Sprinted across campus mid-game in full uniform. So he went back to the locker room to grab his inhaler. Realized he forgot it. Then he ran out the loading dock doors. He didn't put a coat on, didn't put a hoodie on, just full uniform, still game shoes and everything. Sprinted across campus. His dorm room was on the 2nd floor, so I had to go up the stairs. He grabbed it, got back to the game, and no one realized he was gone. The coaching staff or the team staff didn't know it until after the game when he said something. And he was like, the coach was like, "Yeah, I would have noticed it if I went to check him into the game."
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't get to scenario. I was about to check him in, and he was back. He could have played again before the half was over,
right?
And he just didn't tell anyone. Just left, which I think is incredible.
Did you see the video that somebody put out of? It was just like a shot of the arena, and then they panned across, and it was his dorm. Like it really is just like it's just across the parking lot. It's right there. Like
literally, so it's not across campus. Okay,
no, it's literally right. Like they share a parking lot.
Okay,
basically.
Okay, that's not as crazy then.
But it's like still.
My first thought was this man needs his inhaler so bad that he goes back to grab it and it's not there and he runs to go get it. I had some medical concerns there. I don't have asthma. Well, I
have asthma. Yeah,
I don't
you
have
figured you would get
diagnosed asthma, so that surprises me. But it being close makes sense. And we got some more Dean Peterson
My God,
experiences this week. So in the Oklahoma State game on Wednesday, he hit a 3 right in front of the Kansas bench, then looks over at Self and asks to be pulled out. He's like, asks for a sub. And then on Saturday, they ended up winning that game. Then on Saturday, he played the full game. He played like 36 minutes of their game against unranked Cincinnati, and they lost by a lot. So it's just like funny. It's like, I don't understand Darren Peterson. I don't understand what's going on. It's weird. But the UC game, it's just funny to me that like he's by many people the number one prospect, right? The number one pick in the NBA draft.
This has to drop his stock. I do not think I would.
I think, but like the crazy thing is like, okay, so there's all that flack, and then after that Oklahoma State game, Self even goes, he hasn't finished games. The bottom line is there's no way to change the narrative. Play, finish. That's the only way to get people to quit talking. And it was kind of funny because like Bill Self said that, and then Darren Peterson played 36 minutes, and then they lost by 32, a lot.
32.
So, okay, 32. But they lost by a lot, and it was Kansas's largest home loss to an unranked team under Bill Self.
Dude, Cincinnati's like low key, like about to make a tournament run.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
But it just the whole thing this week and every week with Darren Peterson, it never
ends. And honestly, should it ever end? I would pick AJ if the Pacers had the choice between DeBonsa and Peterson. I would want them to pick DeBonsa 100%.
Yeah,
especially after their win over. They just beat.
You'll get there.
Okay, I won't.
You'll get there.
Did you? I don't know. Anyway, did you see the fight at the end of the VCU St. Louis game?
I did. You
gotta have more fights on the floor, man.
There
was just a fight last week too. What game was that?
It was St. John's and Providence.
My God, this one is not that bad.
No one tried to commit almost murder.
Yeah.
The game you're thinking of was Iowa State, by the way. BYU over Iowa State.
Yes, but not a full strength Iowa State team.
True.
Although it's the Iowa State team that's gonna be on the floor from now on.
Yeah.
It's JT Toppin, like we said, tore his ACL. What are your thoughts on Travis Steele here?
Bro, JT Toppin plays at Texas Tech.
What did I say? Iowa State?
Iowa State. Yeah.
Sorry, Eric Mulder, Iowa State team.
Yeah, correct. But yes, JT Toppin is out for the rest of the season.
Did you see the Travis Steele stuff?
Where he was like offered a contract and hasn't signed it yet.
Yeah.
But then he goes, his family likes Oxford. They're Oxford people. That's what he said in the meeting, at least.
That's what everyone says. I love it here. If you know what, if he loved Oxford that much, he would sign the contract. Said it would make him one of the highest paid in the conference. Why not the highest?
Who in the conference makes? I mean, I guess
Gross
maybe
at Akron. I would assume.
Yeah,
I would assume that would be the only one that makes sense to me.
Yeah,
it's Mike Lewis.
Imagine.
No,
Ball State.
Yeah, I mean, it would keep him to 2033 to 2034. I would not sign it if I were him. I don't think he's ever going to sign it. He's going to get a better job. I assume he'll get Power 5 looks.
If he doesn't get a school that like is super appealing to him, like an offer, I think he'll sign it. And then stick around because he's not gonna he's not gonna not sign it if he stays.
Right.
Like he'll sign it if he intends to stay this year, maybe write it out to see if he gets better offers next year. But I think you gotta take what you're given this year because you're coming off almost an undefeated season. Like,
yeah.
Are you going to repeat next year? Could.
You could be worse.
But right. And like,
I mean, they are still not even like metrics wise the best team in their league, but they have the most wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, unless Cincinnati really keeps this, whatever the heck is going on with Cincinnati, unless they keep that going, and I assume Wes Miller's going to get fired, and then I can see him just going right to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Did you see the Mark Few semi crash out?
I actually didn't.
So Kentucky lost to Auburn 75-74 on Saturday. And
Wait, Mark Few or Mark Pope?
Mark Pope. Did I say Few?
You said Few.
We talked about Mark Few earlier, is in my head. Mark Pope. So after the press conference was like done or whatever, his like availability ended, Pope got up, walked off camera, and then literally goes, "Mitch, if those mother effers try to find me, screw them. I did not say a word about how they cheated us." And he said, from what I heard, he said mother effers. Like he didn't say motherfuckers. Yeah. He said mother effers, which I think is just even better.
Even better. Yeah.
I think it's
got
funnier.
Caught on a hot mic.
Yeah. It was.
I didn't say this thing that I just said out loud, caught on a mic.
Which was the...
They will now fine you. Consider yourself fined.
Yes. Then UCLA, they were down 23 and took Illinois to overtime and won. Largest comeback win to beat a top 10 opponent in AP poll history. This came after a players-only meeting.
Do you think someone at that meeting said, "You raising your voice at me? You raising your voice at me?" This is a UCLA players-only meeting?
Yes. UCLA had a players-only meeting.
The Donovan Dent coast to coast was beautiful to win it. That was insane.
Yeah. And then I also want to shout out the worst team in Division I, Mississippi Valley State. They got their first D1 win of the season over Texas Southern.
Yep.
They're 2-26 overall. And it was a dang near like a buzzer beater. Mm-hmm. Hit a layup after getting a steal under the Texas Southern basket. Took the ball, or kid made the layup, sprinted down the court celebrating because he thought the game was over, admittedly. The whole team tackled him on the court.
Rightfully so.
And then they got up, and Texas Southern had a legit chance to hit a game winner with 1.2 seconds left, and unfortunately missed for Mississippi Valley State's sake.
The Delta Devils, baby. So the NCAA, I appreciate that they've started doing this now. They started releasing their top 16 seeds like a month out or maybe 3 weeks out. They did that on Saturday. So Michigan, they said, was like unanimous, like no question, was the number one seed.
Yeah. Fair.
And then Duke was number 2. Arizona was 3. Iowa State was 4. Those are your top 4 seeds. They had Iowa State as the last number 1 seed, and then Houston, was down at 6. Houston couldn't be the 5th overall because they can't be in the region, I think, with Iowa State because they're in the same conference. So they had to bump them down to 6 and move UConn up. But apparently they said that UConn was the last number 1 seed, and then they lost to Creighton and they dropped them. Which, I guess they then had Houston above UConn, but then because of bracketing, they had to move UConn up above of Houston. So you get, if you're Houston, you get Michigan instead of Iowa State. I mean, but they had the Midwest region. It was Michigan as the 1, Houston as the 2, Florida as the 3, Virginia as the 4. Virginia, a surprisingly good team this year. Duke in the East with Illinois, Kansas, and Vandy. And then the South was Iowa State, UConn, Nebraska, dog. And then Texas Tech. And then the West region was Arizona, Purdue, Gonzaga, and Michigan State.
Did you see, speaking of Nebraska real quick, did you see during the game, their last game, I think they were playing Penn State, they put a Fred Hoiberg picture up on the screen, and I kind of had it fade out, and they faded out to the exciting whites,
No,
wine rack.
that's funny.
Picture. It was like, that's Fred Hoiberg in the exciting whites.
That's awesome.
I love when teams feed into memes like that.
Mm-hmm. So the
Sorry.
interesting thing about this, like this top 16 is this last week, Michigan lost, Illinois lost, Iowa State lost, Houston lost, UConn lost, Kansas lost.
Purdue, also like we talked about earlier,
Yeah,
lost.
Purdue lost.
But yeah, all of the top ranked teams.
Pretty much. Like, this is our, like, now I assume Duke would be the number 1 overall seed. They just won a neutral head-to-head over Michigan.
Yeah.
Like, and I think they care about head-to-heads a lot.
I
Like,
would.
I don't know. Kansas losing to Cincinnati is going to make it interesting. I just hope Nebraska stays up there. I want them to win a couple of games for the first time ever.
A couple tournament games.
Yes.
Yeah. A tournament game.
They haven't won one ever.
Would be cool.
But the Duke-Michigan game, I mean, that game was just awesome. They're saying that, like, Michigan was saying they haven't seen a defense like that good this year. Just crazy.
Yeah.
In the Big Ten.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that whole, like, tournament, not even a tournament, that whole just, like, thing that they did.
Yeah.
Being, I think, 4 of the top 5 teams in the country. Really cool. Really cool to do that. 2 weeks before Selection Sunday.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
3 weeks.
Yeah, it's great because, like, this has got to be, like, this feels like the latest we've ever gotten, like, a high-level non-conference game.
Yeah.
That I can remember, because, like, you had, like, bracket busters and stuff, but those were like bubble teams.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is like teams that are competing for the number 1 overall seed.
Yeah, this felt like, you know, if we had gotten, like, Baylor, Gonzaga the year that Baylor won it all in the COVID, like, I'm all for those like, I don't even know if you call them MTEs, whatever they are, whatever this entity is, do more of them.
Yeah,
more non-conference games in February and January, please.
That's all I ask. All I ask. And then the last thing that I wanted to bring up, I haven't looked up based on today's results. I should be able to find that real quick. But we gave an update last week of teams that are ruled out of the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
there's a Twitter account that tracks it all.
Yeah.
Every time a team is eliminated.
Do you mind pulling that up while I list through these?
I don't know the account. I don't follow it.
I looked it up earlier.
I'll find it, I guess.
But so there are currently 352 teams that are left that could potentially make the NCAA tournament, right? This includes all of the automatic qualifiers from conference champions. This includes all of the at-larges from the big power conferences. So obviously it is a very inflated number.
Teams left tracker is what it's called.
Yes.
352 left.
Okay.
You see, cool. Riverside is the latest.
It hasn't been updated since I checked earlier, or it hasn't changed since I checked. So last week, right, Southern Indiana and Western Illinois both got eliminated. Since then, we've had Rider, Canisius, UTSA, so Texas San Antonio, Cal State Bakersfield, Niagara, and then UC Riverside. If you are a fan of any of those 8 teams, unfortunately, there is 0% chance that you will see them in the NCAA tournament.
Turn your attention to Maryland Eastern Shore.
Yes, who sneakily could make it in there. The cool thing, obviously, right, 8 teams, 352. There are 365. Obviously, we rolled out teams that count rolls out teams that aren't eligible, whether it's because they transitioned to Division I or other sanctions. Obviously, and then there are 5 of them, which is why, or 5 or 6 of them, however many teams we've got nowadays. But yeah, still 352 teams that can make it. With a lot of ball to be played.
But not all 352 will.
Nope, only 68
unless
presently until tournament expansion occurs. And then who knows how many they'll add. But just wanted to give that update just because we set the precedent that we were going to talk about it last week.
We won't tell you every team because they're going to start dropping like flies.
Yeah. We'll just call out. It was a very short list for now, but I just wanted to call out the those for now, and then if any major teams pop up, then we will we'll mention those. But games for next week. So on Monday, our game of the day. This is the 23rd. We've got Houston at Kansas at 9 p.m. It's Big Monday. What else can we say? Will Houston lose their third straight game, or will Bill Self lose 2 games in a row in Fog Allen Fieldhouse?
On Big Monday, where he doesn't lose in Fog Allen.
So
it's
something's
immovable
gotta
object
give.
versus unstoppable force. Something's got to give here,
Yeah.
dude. Tuesday, the 24th, our game of the day is St. Louis at Dayton at 7 p.m. St. Louis's toughest game left is at Dayton. Their second to last away game. Dayton's chance to rain on St. Louis's parade here if they want to follow in Archie Miller's footsteps. Do it for Archie. Dayton.
Our Wednesday game of the day, the 25th, we've got St. John's at UConn. This is 7 p.m. St. John's is 15-1. UConn is 15-2 in the Big East. This could decide who wins the conference. Remember, we mentioned UConn as presently the fifth, as a 2 seed, the 5th overall seed, being a 2 seed. So could impact that as well. So it's going to be a very, very exciting to see how that kind of pans out.
Thursday, the 26th, our game is Tennessee State at SEMO at 8:30. Both of these teams are 13-5 in the Ohio Valley, along with Morehead State. So this could very well decide who wins that conference, which is where Southern Indiana is no longer eligible for the tournament.
Friday, the 27th, we've got Michigan at Illinois at 8 p.m. Michigan is 15-1. Illinois is 13-4. A chance for Illinois to potentially catch Michigan. Illinois coming off of that overtime loss to UCLA. Michigan just continues to roll. Obviously, they did just lose to Duke, so both teams have something to prove going into the final couple weeks of the conference season.
Yeah, that should be a really good Friday game. Saturday, game of the day, the 28th, is Gonzaga at St. Mary's at 10:30. There are interesting implications here because St. Mary's is 1 game behind Gonzaga, but so is Santa Clara. So if St. Mary's can get past Santa Clara, then Santa Clara can't win. Can't share the WCC title. But if St. Mary's beats Gonzaga and Santa Clara, then they can tie for the WCC title with Gonzaga. But if Santa Clara beats St. Mary's and then St. Mary's beats Gonzaga, then Santa Clara and Gonzaga will tie, because I imagine Gonzaga is not going to lose to Portland again. Imagine that. I'm chalking that up to as a win in the kennel.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to see, like, this is their last season in the WCC.
Yep. I was gonna say
Will they
go out on a
go
conference
outright? Win? They're gonna win the conference. They're not gonna lose 2.
I meant,
but will they win outright or will they share?
Yeah.
It all comes down to if they can beat St. Mary's again.
I meant go out on an outright win.
Yeah.
I was gonna say win outright is how I was gonna phrase it. Then our Sunday, the 29th game of the day is Murray State at Bradley.
The 29th. It's February. It's March 1st. There is no 29th this year.
Our unpaid intern back at, and I was thinking that too. When I read that, I was like, no, we talked about March 1st games literally in our Indiana recap or preview for next week.
See, the 29th doesn't stand out as a day that shouldn't happen,
Yeah, because it happens
one time
every 4 years. Sunday, March 1st, we've got Murray State at Bradley at 2 p.m. It's going to be very important for Valpo fans, right? Murray State is 12-7, Bradley is 12-6. Valpo is 10-8. We did talk about Valpo as a chance to be the 3 seed, but it would impact if they don't get the 3 seed and they are top 5. It could impact who they play in their first or second round game of the MVC. So implications there for the Beacons as they continue to finish the season hot. Now we've got our Guess the Game portion of the show. I believe I give my clue first.
Yeah.
Maybe as a refresher. Adam is 5-6 after picking up a success last week, and I'm 4-7 after getting Adam's impossible clue last week wrong. So this one is it's a little. The hint I have for you is, it's interesting. I think it's fun.
Okay. I'll let you know.
So
give you a review.
The clue I have is not what you'd expect if someone said, in quotes, Rick Pitino at Madison Square Garden.
What?
So if someone said Rick Pitino's at Madison Square Garden, you'd probably lean towards one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But this is applicable to that, so it's not quite what you'd expect if someone said that.
Okay, so that makes me think of Richard Pitino, which then makes me think of Xavier. Didn't they play twice? There's no other reasons for them to be in Madison Square Garden.
And it's not what you'd expect.
It's not what I'd expect.
Mm-mm.
It's Rick, not what you'd expect. If someone says Rick Pitino at Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
Not what I'd expect. Someone said Rick Pitino at Madison Square Garden. I imagine no one else is playing at MSG unless there's... Imagine I don't know, dude. I'm just going to say Xavier UConn. I think they already played twice, though. But that's what I'm running with.
It is Iona at Manhattan. Rick Pitino, former Iona coach.
Right.
Manhattan is where Madison Square Garden is. It's located in Manhattan.
Gotcha.
That's where I was going with it.
Yeah. I don't see the vision. Rick
Pitino, former Iona coach.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And then obviously Manhattan is where
right, but
MSG
they don't
is.
play at Madison Square Garden.
No. But it's cool. So if someone said Rick Pitino at Madison Square Garden,
yeah,
but it's not what you'd expect.
Right.
So Rick Pitino, you don't expect him to be referenced to Iona anymore.
Right. Nor do I expect Manhattan, the college,
to play at Madison Square Garden. But Madison Square Garden is in Manhattan.
Right. I understand what you're saying. It doesn't work for me, I guess. I'm sorry. Sorry to let you down.
It's okay.
Or maybe you let me down.
Nah. That game is Sunday, March 1st at 2 p.m. Iona at Manhattan.
Mine is to stay atop the sport, they need to buck the Bronco in the zoo.
To stay atop the sport, they need to buck the Bronco at the zoo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's the Mac. It's Western Michigan. Because they're the Broncos. But buck. Western Michigan is in Kalamazoo. No. Oh. Who is it? No, it is Western Michigan. But buck. What? It's just Miami, Western Michigan.
It is Miami University of Western Michigan. They got to beat Western Michigan if they want to stay atop the sport without a loss.
I was like trying to like go through all the words. I was like, but nothing can connect to nothing else.
Buck the Broncos, just Western Michigan's the Broncos.
Yeah, and it's in Kalamazoo.
Yep.
Okay. I was like, there's got to be some other connection to another school. I was like, oh no, he literally said stay atop the sport. Miami is presently the only other team.
Ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Miami of Ohio, or Miami University, as they like to be called, at Western Michigan at 6 p.m. on Saturday, February 27th, which is the day that exists.
Well, all the days exist that we've said today.
Not this year.
Just not this year.
Not this year.
2 years.
This time.
But that is, I think, all we've got. Just final standings, I guess. 5-7 for Adam, 5-7 for me. We only got a couple more of these left. We'll see if we end the season tied or if one of us pulls it out.
Selection Sunday's coming.
It is.
We're almost there.
It is. We are.
Before we go, last thing I saw, the Westeros Central said Sir Tyrese of House Halliburton will be away from the Pacers for at least a fortnight after being diagnosed with grayscale per head coach Rickon Carlisle. May he see Maester Tarley with haste and make a swift recovery, the mother forgiving.
Westeros
How do you get shingles, bro? How do you get shingles?
I don't know.
Someone didn't get the chickenpox vaccine or have chickenpox when they were a kid.
Apparently.
It's wild. I love that account. One of my favorite accounts on Twitter right now.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great. But the clock is showing quadruple zeros, so it's time for us to get out of here. Thanks for checking in on the State of Basketball podcast. We will see you next time. And remember, in 49 states,
it's just basketball.